What's going on, everybody? It's Davey from the 80s, and you are now entering the Cinema Chop Shop, so park your ass right there. And while you're there, don't forget to hit the like, the share, the subscribe button. Also, if you check the link below, you'll see a Patreon account. If you click it, you can become a member. All you got to do is try, recommend movies and music and trailers, maybe react to, so click the link. Now, with that being said, we are here today with a little bit of movie news. For those of you that play the game Dead by Daylight, they are now making a freaking horror movie. So first, Five Nights at Freddy gets a movie, and now Dead by Daylight. If you guys don't know about Dead by Daylight, it is a killer slash survivor game. Kind of like if you played the Friday the 13th game. There's people that run around, try to hide, and somebody else is acting as the killer and is running around trying to kill them. They have various killers, original and I guess DLC ones that are based on real people. Leatherface, Ghostface, Pinhead, the nurse from Silent Hill, I believe, is on there. And so is the Pyramid Head from Silent Hill. There's so many freaking other characters that I'm not even going to go down the name, but in the list. But anyway, let's get into it. Bloody Disgusting announced that Dead by Daylight is being produced or created by James Wan's Atomic Monster, which is a really good look. And they're joining forces with Behavior Interactive on the Dead by Daylight game movie. It is a scary cinematic adaptation. The search for a writer and director is currently underway, so they don't know who's going to direct or write it. But yeah, what they had to say was, we couldn't be more thrilled to work with Jason Blum and James Wan, two giants of the horror film industry. Honestly, that's an amazing start for this franchise already. Um, at Behavior, our motto is to create unique moments together forever. Atomic Monster and Blumhouse are the ideal partners to craft Dead by Daylight's killer's entrance onto the big screen. James Wan added his own statement shared by Variety. In Dead by Daylight, the Behavior team has created a love letter to the world of horror, building an incredible environment, teaming with atmosphere and terrifying villains, perfect for a scary cinematic adaptation. We're big fans of the game at Atomic Monster and are thrilled to be teaming up with Blumhouse to be bringing this frightening, visceral world to the big screen. We know that there are many fans of Dead by Daylight out there, and we think it's imperative that we find someone who appreciates and loves the world as much as we do to help us bring the game to the big screen, said Blumhouse's Jason Blum. We know our partners at Behavior and Atomic Monster will help us bring the best version of this game to life. Right. So you have James Wan and Jason Blum coming together in order to make sure that this game gets a very good film adaptation, which I don't have any doubts about that. Jason Blum is going to make sure that this movie is hella low budget and it makes a ton of fucking money. James Wan is going to make sure that the horror, the theatrics of it, horror wise, is going to be on point. So what will this movie eventually compromise of, and who will we see in this movie? So, just based off of stats alone, the top killers for Dead by Daylight last year were, or the most used characters were, the Huntress, the Trapper, and the Wraith. So based off of those alone, I would assume that those characters will most likely be included. Do I think they're going to use every single character in the Dead by Daylight game? I highly doubt it. But they will probably use the most popular characters. And those being the top three characters, those names are super synonymous with that game. So I definitely think that those are the characters that might be included in this film. Now, me personally, I think that it probably should have been a TV series. It would have been way better if they would have went that route. That way, each episode you could have dedicated a whole episode to the character, their backstory, and then maybe add in like a modern event that happened with them or something like that. Everybody should have their own storyline, in my opinion, but it's way too many characters involved in this game in order to make it make sense. So the only way I can think of is that if the movie's like somebody gets dropped off in like an area and there's like a bunch of killers running around trying to kill them, and it's really like a hide and seek type movie. I mean, which isn't a bad idea, but at the same time, you have to really think about it. You have to there's going to be fans that want certain characters to get a lot more screen time than others, and there's going to be some fans that are going to be upset that some characters don't get screen time. So I think the idea should be to focus on a few selective characters and then kind of go from there. I really don't think you should base there's the a better idea would probably be to make the movies based on one character and then just run it from there. But I don't know. It's kind of complicated. I think that maybe the best idea would probably be to just kind of run with one character and make a whole movie based off of that. I don't think it would be a good idea to be basing it on what the game is, it per se. I think it would be better to kind of like base it on one character, their backstory, give it the slashery vibes, the hide and seek scariness, that, and just run off of that because trying to make it like a full-fledged movie and involving all these characters and kind of having people sneak around and trying not to be killed by these variety of characters, which on paper sounds like a good idea, like just saying it out loud. But when you're trying to make a very cohesive film, that could kind of muddy it up. So I think that they should try to condense it, try to pick maybe three characters to focus on, or maybe one character to focus on. I think it probably would have been better as a TV series, but that's just me. But definitely I would say that this needs if you have a hard-nosed OG slasher type character like the Trapper or the Wraith, I would say that you should stick to stick to like practical effects. Try not to CGI it up too much. Try to use as much practical as possible. But I know they're gonna go CGI because this is Jason Blum and he cuts corners in order to save money so that this movie can make money. But definitely a very popular franchise. It's smart of them to strike while the iron's hot. Even though, like again, there are Five Nights at Freddy fans. I feel like a Five Nights at Freddy movie would have did so much better, maybe a few years ago when it was really popular versus now. So it's Dead by Daylight is starting to lose momentum, but I don't think it's lost enough momentum to the point where this movie isn't going to make money. I think that they did it at a decent time. It probably would have been even better maybe a year or two ago when the game had hella popularity, but it's still within a good time frame. So it's a good idea. So I'll sign me up. I love some of the characters in the the game. I love some of their designs. I love their unique backstories. And I kind of want to see where they're going to go with this. So I'll keep you guys in tune whenever I find out who's writing it, who's directing it. But Jason Blum and James Wan being behind it, that's already a plus for me. So count me in. What do you guys think? Do you guys have faith in this? Do you think it's a good idea? How do you guys think they're going to approach writing the story to this film? Let me know in the conversation down below. And you are now exiting the Cinema Chop Shop. Hope you guys have a magnificent day. Adios, homies.